Now tell me if you heard that before, but a German guy walks into a Swedish hobby store. Yeah, you know that, right? I swear, I just wanted to buy some paint and check if they still have this green stuff, putty, which they didn't. Instead, I bought 2 boxes. This one is number one, and this one being the other. So, for all I know, they are kind of the new releases, and I couldn't resist, as you can see. So, let's have a look inside now, shall we? So, first the Sentinel guard. That is 3 sprues. And don't hate me, but I removed some of those shields already because I want to use them somewhere else. Yes, I am that type of person. But yeah, as you can see, it's a very classic setup. I really like that. So you have a choice of weapons, lots of arms, and all the stuff for 6 of those Sentinels. And let's try to get a closer look. So here we have the detail, and of course it's a very new kit and very new and modern sculpting and very new molds. So yeah, everything is very, very nice and crisp. Beautiful. So that's all the weaponry and all the stuff, and let's have a look at the next one. So here we have the heads, which I never know which side is up and down with those guys because I'm not playing those. We have the insides of the whole thing, and here we have another head. I think this one is the front. Yes, you would expect for the Custodes. They have lots of decoration. There's very fine detailed armor and lots of stuff on them. And for what I could see up to here, it's really nicely done. So you have the not so much trouble with the mold lines. That's usually hidden behind somewhere, and the same with wherever you have to glue them. That's usually very well done, so you don't have too much trouble with all the mold lines and other details. I mean, I cannot really see much of a mold line to begin with, so that looks really nice. Those are 2 big sprues, and there's a smaller one. That's a lot of detail. It's really beautiful, and depending on how you want to paint that, that's a lot of work. Warhammer 2026. And there's of course the manual included, and it is usual way where you have this all the details and the alternatives wherever possible, where you have choices and can use different versions and which parts are needed, and it's all color coded, and yeah, easy to build, I would think. And on the back you have an overview of which characters you can build and how they can look in this set, and yeah, of course you can have different weapon options and so forth. That's why I didn't feel too bad about stealing a couple of those shields that I want to have for my blade guard, because I didn't have other shields. And this is the other one, the shield captain, which is, I would think, a she. I'm not sure, but the face looks kind of female. I don't know. I think it's a she. Get a base, obviously, and again the manual, which is just as the other one was. And I think here the only alternative is the head. Yeah, as you can see here, hopefully there is only the head that can be different. And one sprue, exactly. So obviously the same quality, the same crisp mold, and all the detail. It's really, really nice. Here we have the sword, which is like, you know, this two holes, whatever that is called. Now those were those two parts here. This is some kind of laurel or whatever that is. And those two parts and the head sculpt itself are making up the head if you want to have the face and not the helmet. This is just the inside of the shield. It's amazing. Beautiful sculpt. And again, a lot of work to paint all of that, and probably a lot of detail that you can mess up when you are not careful with knives and sanding equipment. But that is really, really nice. So I will try to get that together, and then we can see if there is anything extraordinary. I think that should go together as one would expect with those modern kits, but I will give it a try. So the parts are coming together bit by bit, and here is of course the great question. I glued the arm in place here, and you can see that gap here, there is not much space. This has to fit together with the cloak. And I'm gonna try the shoulder pad as well, but I didn't glue the cape in place. Cloak, cape, whatever, that thingy. Because, yeah, I'm not sure that I want to paint here in between, and especially not when the shield is in place, so that's probably a very tricky thing. And this is kind of fits very well, but can be removed still. I just see that the arm is probably in the wrong position. That is the elbow cap here. So this is how it is supposed to be. With this, whatever that is, covering the joint here, and that is supposed to be together. There's some that is modeled in a way that is kind of fitting very close. But after that I will take off the cape and paint that separately, hopefully. And yeah, there's this shoulder armor here going on there, and that should be good enough to cover if there would be a gap. Right now it's coming together here, so it's really holding well in place as it is, but it can be taken away, and here you can see how it is molded here and how those details go together and how it fits here. So yeah, but I want to paint that separately. I think I'm not the biggest fan of that, but that's too much going on there. And here we go. That is the entire figure complete, and as you can see, it's about what the box art says. The shield seems to be a little bit larger, and the sword is very, very long. So like this, it is already on the level of a normal base. If we put here somebody here, so it's like touching the floor already. So that is standing out very, very far, and yeah, it could move a little bit further back. And I can still remove the cape as promised, so this is how the whole thing looks like. Obviously the head is not glued in place, and I want to swap that for the other one here. Yeah, there was a head. Yeah, as I said, I didn't glue that in place, so. But next step would be to get some primer on it, and probably some highlights from above. So see you then, but I would probably do that in another video. The other thing is what you can see here on the cloak is that patterns and stuff. This is where it has to go onto the model itself, and here you can see where, well, I just said where the leg would sit, and I think this one here is where the pommel of the sword would go. So this is a little bit of a guidance for how things should be shaped and positioned. You can see here these grooves that are fitting to the backpack, the power connectors or whatever that is, and the pommel of the sword is sticking out here. So that helps when you want to position everything and yeah, adjust the pose. So yeah, the head is already moving because it's not glued, but that would hopefully do it for the painting job. So yeah, went together as you would expect. If you have this liquid cement, as I used from Tamiya or something like that, That helps a little bit because it softens up the plastic, so you can like squeeze the parts really well together and avoid any gaps or something. That looks pretty good. Now the interesting question is how to paint that. But I will do that in another one. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.